I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Calvaria Rose. Hi.
Yeah, what's up? Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Okay, so first things first, my name is Calvaria Rose. That's how I go online. Uh, these days I mostly just work on music. I release beats like every 1 or 2 weeks on YouTube and like Spotify. In case y'all are interested, if you want to go check it out. And I want to get started with streaming eventually, so that's on the list of things to do.
Yeah, yeah. Are you gonna go with games, or are you gonna do with putting some of some of the great music together?
Uh, yeah, I might do both actually.
Hmm.
Why not both? You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Don't
I don't know about how I've heard a lot of your stuff at this point, and
Yeah, you thank you.
oh, it's amazing stuff. We're going to be hearing some of it here in a little bit, but how would you? It would be pretty tough to do that online and have people over your shoulder while you're doing it, I would think.
Yeah, it's a different experience for sure.
So when did you get started putting together music like this?
So I've been making music for about like a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm. And this,
I stopped for a bit because I was busy with like work and stuff.
yeah.
So that had me busy for a couple of months until I was like laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So until then, I decided why not just start making music again.
Mm-hmm.
So I started grinding again, took it serious,
Yeah.
and yeah, I started making beats like every week or so. About
Yeah, that's amazing to me. It's only been a couple of a year and a half. I mean, were you interested in music before that, or did you play an instrument or anything like that?
oh yeah, for sure. Instrument I never really. I do have an instrument, but I'm not like too into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just play it for fun here and there.
Yeah, yeah,
But maybe eventually down the line I'll take time to like actually learn it. Oh yeah, and the instrument is a keyboard.
yeah, yeah. Keyboard.
Yeah, no keyboard.
That would make sense. Were you interested when you were younger in doing that sort of thing, either music or playing an instrument?
Oh yeah, as a kid, I used to want to play the violin. I used to want to be a violinist. I
Mm.
don't know how it's called.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
uh, but then I started getting more into like what kind of instruments would I really want to do? Like violin was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then piano was a big second one.
Yeah, yeah,
Then I was like, how am I gonna get a piano though?
yeah.
Can't exactly fit one in my home. It's
Yeah,
too big.
it's pretty tough to get those things moved around when you get a good one.
Like, how am I really gonna practice
Mm.
until I found out keyboards exist and oh, I'll just pick one up, a
Yeah,
good keyboard.
yeah, yeah. And how did you get involved in putting the musics together like this? I mean, that's that. I mean, to me, it would seem like at the level that you're doing it, you'd have to be doing it for some time. But you say only a year and a half.
Yeah. Year
Uh,
and a half, 2 years maybe
so when did you
at
get
most.
when did you get interested in doing it?
Uh, well, since high school I'd say. So
Mm-hmm.
about like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I used to dabble in a bunch of like music playing sites like online,
Mm-hmm.
like making just standard beats, just drum patterns and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And from that, you kind of expanded on to making entire creations.
Yeah, then eventually I wanted to actually get serious
Mm-hmm.
about this sort of stuff. So I bought FL Studio, which is the music program that I use to make beats.
Mm-hmm. And
I bought that. I didn't really dabble into it until like a few months later. I was too busy like researching like how to even use it
and
because I had no idea how to even like work work it.
and it's nice having the big toys, but if you don't know how to use it properly,
Exactly. You can't really do much with it.
yeah. I envy folks who are able to do that sort of thing, such as yourself. I worked a lot of boards at radio stations over the years, but never could
Hmm.
never could do something like this. I really would wish I had the creative ability to do it. Was there anybody that was kind of someone you looked up to before you started doing this?
Uh,
Any
in
particular,
terms of like music artists or like
yeah,
actual like music makers,
music artists, DJs, anything along those lines?
uh, not anyone specific, but I listen to a bunch of different music genres.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like EDM, trap,
Mm-hmm.
Spanish music,
Mm-hmm.
lo-fi.
Yeah, you can draw a
I
little.
eventually, wa-
Yeah, you can draw a little
I
from all of
eventually want
that.
to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I think you can draw from all of that to make really good combinations.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my style.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it's more like electronic-y kind of sound.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's people who aren't your classically trained musicians that are able to compose using electronics and computers and that sort of thing to come up with amazing compositions. And I think
Hmm.
anybody who's listened to what you've been able to do can certainly agree to that because uh, your stuff is top quality.
Thanks for thinking so. I still want to improve here and there.
Yeah,
Still got a lot of room to grow.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's still learning at it, and it's still young yet, but
I'm not like pro by any means. I'm pretty amateur.
well, but even so, if folks are going to listen to the newest from Calvaria Rose here in a little bit
But
near the end of the interview. Um,
but still though, even the works I got now, even, people are still liking them. That makes me happy. I'm still content with that.
wow. So when you had your first real complete music piece together, and you played it back for
Complete
yourself, like a complete song, a complete um,
first original beat.
yeah. And you played it back to yourself and said, and you realized, yeah, that's mine. How did that sit with you?
I mean, working on music is actually it's pretty fun and satisfying once you get everything completed and done with.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'd say the first musical piece I've done that I was content with was about like
mm,
a minute and 30 seconds long.
yeah, it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a
Yeah.
good part, but it can't be too short too. I want to make it at least like a minute, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's like a little jingle, you can't really vibe much to it.
Well, but you do what you do then is you put it on loop.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And you just keep looping it until it's done. How do you think?
If it's
How do you think
oh,
we?
yeah, go ahead.
How do you think we got through disco in the '70s?
I wish I was around back then in the 70s.
Oh, I tell you what, I was there, and I can tell you that we had you know how we had the old vinyl records, and
Old school.
yeah, very, and we had entire sides of LP sized records that were like one song. That would be the 17-minute club version. So, so by the time it's done, you were tired of it, no matter how much of a groove it actually had. But the from what I hear from your stuff that you put up here recently, um,
Oh,
it's very layered. It doesn't just stick with one repetitive thing over and over and over again.
yeah.
You do progress it into other layers. Was that something that came over time, or is that just natural to you?
That came over time.
Hmm.
I eventually wanted to make my music sound more like in depth, more like I'm telling a story.
Hmm.
I didn't want it to sound too repetitive at times.
Hmm. Yeah, well, that's a good thing because it's got
I'm trying my best to do that.
yeah. I mean That way you've got a second level of appreciation for the particular piece in question. Um, Stuff is you got some remix material in there too. Um, is
Yeah,
it
the remixes.
do you is that something that you enjoy?
Yeah, I like doing remixes.
Mm-hmm. It's
Pretty enjoyable,
yeah,
satisfying.
yeah. What's your favorite remix you've done so far?
Favorite remix? Probably the latest Deltarune remix I did like almost 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite.
So how do you come up with the inspiration for that?
Oh, like what deciding which songs to remix?
Uh, Not only that, but how to do it.
How to do it?
Like you can hear a song, and most people hear a song and they just hear a song. When you're doing a remix of one, you're hearing it and you're changing it some way, um, giving it a different mix. Is that just something you've picked up as having a good ear for, or are there?
Oh yeah, I just do everything by ear to be honest. I'm not really too good at music theory just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just know basic stuff.
Well, I can tell you, folks, that the basic gets Calvaria Rose a long way.
I
uh,
got a long way to go, dude.
yeah, but from where you're starting, this is pretty amazing stuff. We're going to go ahead and play one of your most recent
All right.
pieces, and it's called Perseverance. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, Perseverance. We'll play that right now, and we'll come back and talk more with Calvaria Rose here on Eric Loy Interviews.
Calvaria Rose.
Perseverance by Calvaria Rose. You're hearing an Eric Loy interviews. You heard right there the talent and the ability that I think is just amazing for this person. What
Thank
what
you.
inspired you with this particular song?
Well, do you play Final Fantasy and like that sort of like RPGs and stuff?
No, I watched a lot of it, but I haven't played it. Is it?
Oh, part of that, the music from those franchises kind of inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll listen to one and it sounds like very, very epic sounding, very like final boss type theme.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Really makes you feel something.
yeah. It really gets you involved in whatever's going on
Yeah, yeah, pretty
in a
much.
different way. Well, that's and from that you were able to come up with your own original from that.
Yeah, exactly. I like making epic sounding. Well, I guess music. Yeah, you could say.
Oh, it's definitely music. I mean, have you been able to get a good demo
Mm.
together and send it off to some of these companies?
No, not yet.
Well, do it. I mean, you can't. It can't hurt at this point. You get to get that out there quickly, and maybe you'll get some of these compositions of yours on some of these games.
I could try.
Or
I'll have
that,
to look into that.
or is that something that would interest you in the future?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Yeah. If somebody comes up to you with an idea and say, I thought about maybe maybe a little this, a little bit of that. Can you come up with something if they do that, or do you have to hear it first?
Definitely helps more if I could hear it.
Hmm. And and
That's what I
and then from
usually do.
there you grind it through your mind and come up with something on the other end.
Yeah, I try to like visualize in my mind what I'm gonna do next. Like what type of vibe am I trying to go for?
Hmm. And
Now I usually just wing it, to be honest.
so you just keep trying until something sticks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh boy, you know back in the old days we recorded everything on tape, reel to reel tapes. Um, it's a little bit easier now to edit,
Oh yeah, definitely.
considering you don't have a shaky razor blade and a piece of tape to basically edit with. Um, it,
Technology
Technology is amazing. Uh,
for real.
when you hear a song that is done on analog, an older song, um, can you hear at this point where the edits are?
Analog.
Yeah, one that wasn't done digitally.
Oh, if I could tell the difference?
Yeah.
Mm, nah, probably not.
Mm. I just wonder if your ears picked up to that point, and now that you've become a composer and musician of your own, have you been critical of other people's work in shows and video games, and you hear the music and say, I would have done that differently. I could have done that better. Anything like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I would have made it in my style,
Mm.
definitely.
Well, does it make it?
More like groovy,
Yeah,
electronic-y style.
yeah. Does it make it tougher for you to enjoy that sort of thing when it comes up in a video game, especially?
Uh, nah, not really.
Mm.
I still vibe to the music even though it's not like in my preferred style.
Hmm. But you'll still it doesn't get to the point where you're stopping the game because the music isn't that good.
Oh no, never, never. I, I vibe with any genre, to be honest.
Yeah. So take me through an average original for you. Um, so you've got what do you usually start with? Is it a basic beat or is it some sort of a melodic catch? What usually starts one out for you?
Well, usually I open up FL.
Mm-hmm.
I open up a piano since piano is like the most versatile instrument, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So I open that up. I usually start with bass notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a good a
So
good
I get
a good bass will start anything.
yeah, pretty much. That's what I always been like told or like learned that bass notes are pretty much the starting point.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And
Then next I'd go to like counter melodies that would go with the bass notes.
okay.
Then that I try layering the sound with more and more instruments to make it sound more full.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, I might arpeggiate it. I don't know if
No, I don't
you
know
know
what
what
that
that is.
means. No, what does that mean?
Basically, there's like a command in FL that you could use to kind of randomize the notes.
Oh.
So I could do that
Mm-hmm.
and like gather some inspiration from there. Like, what should the next sound be? Like, where do I want to take this? I'll
Mm-hmm.
do that, and sometimes it'll come out good.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll roll along with it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll fix it up myself,
Mm-hmm.
improvise it a bit,
Oh,
and maybe change it later down the line.
yeah. Are you ever truly satisfied with the music you've done, or do you want to go in and fiddle with it once you're finished?
Uh, on my past like old beats, yeah, I feel like I could have done a lot more once
Yeah.
I like listen back to them nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
which I may eventually do. I like to go back and like revise my work, make like a new and improved version of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And remix your remixes.
Yeah, pretty much a remix of a remix of a remix until it's perfect.
We'll just call them sequels instead of remixes at this point. If the movies can do it, you can too. Um, mm,
If movies could do it, songs could do it
yeah.
too, you know?
So if you had a chance to put out your big opus, your number one musical uh, song effort, would you rather have a something that was 6 7 minutes long, or would you rather have something a lot shorter than that?
Oh, I think it would long for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
think my best beat is definitely a long one,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the one I would choose.
Mm-hmm. Something that you can go a lot of different ways with and still tie it together.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
I think the longest beat I've ever made was like 6 minutes,
Hmm.
7 minutes.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot.
If you got
Around
some,
there.
if you got something good and really a good bass line, you can take it a long way. A lot of the music that came out of the late '70s, especially the disco and funk type music, the bass lines on that were ridiculous.
You could do
Um,
so much with the bass line.
yeah. Have you used samples at all?
Oh yeah.
Well,
In case I don't know what to do that day, I'm not like can't think of anything. I'll use a sample from like my library of sounds
mm-hmm,
that I got on FL.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like pick one of those and like build a beat off that.
so you'll it's like throwing a piece of clay on and seeing if you can find the statue in the clay.
The pretty much like the sample is like the dough.
Yeah, and
Then I come in, add all the toppings.
it's the basic inspiration, and then the rest is you.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely, that is wonderful, folks. If you get a chance to hear what Calvaria Rose has got going on, we're gonna have links set up in the description for this interview, and
I try and make a beat every week at least.
yeah, and you gotta tune in. You gotta find out what it's all about because this is some high quality stuff, and you you're just getting started. You're just getting started. This is gonna go a long way, I think.
speaking of beats, I should probably make one like soon. It's been 8 days since my last one. Oh,
that
I gotta get on it.
the trigger fingers are getting itchy. Got to get another one out there as quick as you can.
I gotta put out more content.
That's right. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate it. And
Oh, no problem.
you get some more stuff. Make sure you let everybody. You got to follow on Twitter, X Twitter,
Yeah.
to see what Calvaria Rose has got going on, and then we'll have the rest of the links up on the description for the interview. So much. Thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure meeting with you, and you're a great talent.
Yeah. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.